Hey there, gorgeous souls. I'm Ananda, the Galactic Mystic, and this is your Navigational Astrology forecast for the Libra New Moon. So this is for October 5th and 6th, 2021. This new moon is outrageous. I'm about to nerd out so hard on this. Okay, so let's first begin with our beacon cards. Now, the beacon card for October 6th, which is at least where I am when the new moon is, it is at 7:05 a.m. Eastern Time, October 6th, 2021. But this forecast is for the 5th and 6th because it is a span of time. So as we have been going along since October 1st, our beacon cards have been in sequential order in regards to the Fool's Journey. So on Monday, we had the Wheel of Fortune. Tuesday, Justice, which definitely plays into this new moon. And then the actual card for the new moon is the Hanged Man. So we cannot deny the involvement of Justice in this new moon because we have the Sun, Moon, and Mars all conjunct at 13 degrees of Libra. I'm going to bring up the chart so you can see it. Here we have, this is the exact moment of the new moon. We have the Sun, Moon, Mars, all exactly at 13 degrees. We also have Mercury retrograde in here and the anti-vertex. So this new moon cycle is a new forward motion in all things Libra related. We're talking about truth, justice, balance, equality, righteousness. This is karmic corrections. It's a lot of things. If we look at Venus, who rules Libra, she is in a conjunction with the South Node. She is in a pretty tight semi-square with Mars. This is a bit of a frustrated energy. So we're not able to act in the ways that we want. This can also indicate a bit of friction between partners. If you are a person in relationship, if you are partnered, there could be a little bit of friction there. This is that internal struggle with love and action, self and others. This energy has been building all week, and it is now in a spotlight. This new moon and this new moon Mars conjunction is occurring in the Three of Swords area of the zodiac. This is the wound. This is the heartbreak. This is also the lesson of the Queen of Swords, who is the bringer of truth. This is Pallas Athena, who is freeing us from our illusions. That's how she loves us. That's how she shows her compassion and care, by slicing through to the heart of the matter. This Mercury retrograde square with Pluto we've been having for all kinds of time now is a part of that. And it is still in, it's in a 4-degree orb. So it, it's still in play here with this new moon. The trick with the Three of Swords being the lesson of the Queen of Swords is this choice. And, we have to talk about the scales with the weighing of your heart and your feather that I've talked about a bunch of times. I'm not going to super go into that, but this is about when we have this sword in our hearts, when we have this wound, do we just kind of hang out with this sword sticking out of our chest and like wait for someone to come and pull it out? No, we have to pull the sword out of our chest ourselves. And then we have another choice. Do we become bitter that no one came and pulled the sword out? Do we become bitter because of why the sword was in there in the first place? Or do we get wise? Do we get smart? Do we let the experience of the wound and the experience of freeing ourselves empower us, allow us to become more mature, more balanced within ourselves, so we can then interact with the world in a brand new way? This is why Mars is here. Mars is here energizing this. He's making the wound hot. That sword was in the fire before it was plunged into your chest. It hurts. That doesn't change the choices. It doesn't change what we have to do. With back to this here, the part of spirit is almost it's almost an unattainable spiritual calling. And the part of fortune is where we have blessings, where we are naturally blessed, where we are happiest. So this means that all of this has to do with how we are from this moment on going to interact with life. Are we going to interact with life as a victim? Are we going to blame everyone else for our misfortunes? Or are we going to heed this almost unattainable calling of the part of spirit and really step out, step up into a whole brand new existence? We're going to push that bar of leading edge consciousness even further. That's the calling. That's what this is about. I also have to mention here that Pluto is stationing. He's at 24 and 19 degrees, where he first stopped on Monday. And these station days are really weird. The march toward that big change, that big transformation. He is marching, Pluto that is, marching straight for the Pluto return of the United States. Venus being in conjunction with the South Node really highlights this confrontation or coming to terms with our victim stuff. The inner the warrior is calling. This is an activation of balance, of truth, and of justice within and without, inside and outside, in yourself, so that you can interact with the world in that type of way. Now, all of this, the sun, moon, and Mars are all in an exact quincunx with Uranus. So there could be some unexpected breaks, breakups, things falling apart, unexpected events that cause you to either bend or break. An unexpected event that doesn't make sense at all, that you can't even make relate to you. You can't understand your relationship with it. You don't understand what's happening. And Venus with the South Node speaks of a lot being hidden. Venus is in the last degrees of Scorpio. So if something in your life needs to come to the surface, this is a really good time for it to happen. Uranus is there, making it uncomfortable, making things unpredictable. And the sun, moon, Mars, and Mercury retrograde and the anti-vertex all in Libra mean that there is a divine order situation being aligned, and it may or may not be comfortable. A lot of things are pretty uncomfortable right now. This is an explosive situation. This is highly, highly energized and will remain so in the coming days. There is a calling for us to bring our sensitivity back into play, to bring our dreams back into play, to bring back some idealism, not blinded idealism, but, you know, like, actually things should really be this way, you know. There's a pull towards our dreams, and they may be dreams that we have forgotten or that we have otherwise, you know, just put on the back burner thinking that they were impossible. They're pipe dreams, they're illogical, they don't make sense. It's time to dig those back up. You need that in order to make your heart lighter. And this is all about making your heart lighter, feeling as if you deserve to have your heart be lighter. But we can't be a victim and have a light heart. Victim mentality is heavy duty. And I don't mean to say that we don't deserve care and nurturing from others. Of course we do. But are you going to deny yourself that if no one else is giving it? Well, they're not giving it to me, so I'm not going to give it to me either. It doesn't even make any sense. I've been there. I wanted to read the Chandra symbols for 13 degrees of Libra and for 7 degrees of Libra. 7 degrees is the ascendant, the part of spirit, and the part of fortune in this chart, and represents the new vision for how we are to interact with life, what our new next level first response to stuff happening in our world should be. Now, I haven't read this yet, so it will be a surprise to me as well. Okay, Libra, 7 degrees. A group of old ladies gossiping excitedly, in on big news, tapping the pulse of the times. You are almost not able to contain it, to deal with it all, placed strategically in tune, placed strategically to tune in to major developments collectively, a clearinghouse for immediate and enduring cross currents, susceptibility to personality distortions, particularly in interpersonal dynamics. You are not very disconcerting or disciplined in the sharing field of energy and consciousness, an excess of vital spirits. Yet all of this is a false front, the way to throw everybody off. Inwardly keen and sharp and intricately knowledgeable, and most especially able to track with what is meant to be and what is truly moving forward, to lend it a helping hand and to be completely involved with universal destiny calls, with their resonant reverberations throughout the world. Now, how fascinating is this? So in the beginning of this, it's talking about being a little gossipy, being a little, you know, with your popcorn and, you know, like a little into the drama, in on big news, tapping the pulse of the times. You can't contain it. You can't deal with it, you know. And then it talks about distorting our personalities, which I've been talking about for days now, in our relationships with others, how we're not conscious of it. This says you're not very discerning or disciplined in the sharing field of energy and consciousness, just kind of throwing it out there without taking stock in what we're actually putting out there. Yet it shifts. It says, this is all a false front, the way to throw everybody off, a way to hide. Inwardly keen and sharp. So we want to become keen and sharp, that Queen of Swords energy. Can you believe just how it all just lines up and makes sense? That Queen of Swords, the truth, clear vision. Inwardly keen and sharp and intricately knowledgeable. You've got to know, you've got to dig to the truth, which we've been doing with Mercury square Pluto. And most especially, able to track with what is meant to be and what is truly moving forward. This is the new path, the new level of existing. To lend it a helping hand, to pull that sword out yourself, and to be completely involved with universal destiny calls, with their resonant reverberations throughout the world. Y'all, So that was Libra 7 degrees, which is where our ascendant, our part of spirit, and our part of fortune are all at today, at the moment of the new moon. So let's look at Libra 13. This is where our new moon is with Mars at 13 degrees of Libra. This is the Chandra symbol. Men and women in white towels in a steam bath, talking and sweating profusely. That sounds literally like the sun and moon and Mars together. It sounds like a sun, moon, Mars conjunction, just that one sentence. When you are personally ill, disattuned, all broken up, you can find a kind of healing and transformation by exposing yourself to shared experiences that give you a boost and let you realize what has gotten you to this point. You will find others in similar places to your own. Rituals and styles of change, of opening, of becoming somebody new can become a way of life in themselves, being thrust into collective cycles, taking on collective karmas, immersing yourself in what is going on with everyone. Now, doesn't that sound just like what we just read about the gossip? There's so much going on. We're going to talk about it. I feel like, where's my popcorn? All the drama, okay? Feeling it all, sensing what it is like to be human, to be wounded, to be searching, alive to the multiple chemistries along an open-ended pathway. Yet you also tend to loop back, to grow attached to the way it seems, and to be naive to what you are really doing after all. That's speaking of that unconsciousness of, it all being to the purpose of throwing people off. Experiences and processes must be springboards into really becoming free. You just can't make this up. And perhaps also by rooting into a place where love is born, out of whose source you can give so abundantly and be sustained in the universal flow, as one who kept it all until all the semblances gave way to the adventure authentically embraced. I mean, are you feeling that? Like I'm feeling that? That is everything it's just everything I've been talking about. Experiences and processes, pulling the sword out, processing our situation, how we got here. Everything that we do, all the ways that we grow, it should all be a springboard into becoming really free. And what does it mean to be free? It means to belong to yourself. It means to have all the parts of you intact. It means to not give your power away, to not blame others for our circumstances, to not be like, a damsel in distress, or like, it's about empowered, embodied truth of self. It's a high calling. It's not easy, but this is what this new moon is about. I hope you're doing great. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a fantastic new moon. I'll see you tomorrow.